controversy about like with COVID, no matter what side of the fence that you sit on with this. And but fortunately, in the literature, there were references a year and a half ago that N-acetyl supplementation was therapeutic in the treatment of COVID-19 and could reduce the occurrence of severe symptoms. So when we look at what can people do to protect themselves from COVID, there are really basic, inexpensive nutritional supplements. Vitamin D is, one of the most obvious, 5,000 IUs per day, or is recommended by a doctor. Iodine supplements, I strongly recommend, but 90% of the population, over 90% of the population here in the U.S. is deficient in iodine, and but they should get their blood levels checked by their doctor in terms of how much they should take. Some people might need a few hundred micrograms. Other people might want to go for a supplement like Idorol, which is 12.5 milligrams. It's otherwise known as Lugol solution. And then glutathione, not our patch, but NAC. NAC is shown will elevate glutathione and can help protect people from the severe symptoms of COVID. But having a diet that's rich in cysteine, which is difficult, by the way, for vegans and vegetarians, because it's mostly found in meat and dairy and eggs. So they would want to supplement with something like N-acetylcysteine. And then the other thing is the mineral selenomethionine, or selenium. Now, there's many different forms of selenium. So, for example, a lot of people in the natural health industry, they'll take a supplement of brewer's yeast. And brewer's yeast has naturally occurring selenium. And it's also been used to help reduce blood sugar levels because it's a source of chromium, something called GTF chromium. But in particular, there's research going back more than 15 years that shows that selenomethionine will quickly elevate blood levels of selenium, and this will catalyze the formation of glutathione from cysteine. So selenomethionine as a mineral is going to be a preferred way to elevate glutathione. The other benefits of taking a selenium supplement, so let's say 200 micrograms per day, as an example, is that for men, it has been shown to kill prostate cancer cells. So it's a way for men to protect themselves from prostate cancer. And also literature going back to the 70s. I first read this in the book Life Extension by Dirk Pearson and Sandy Shaw. They were recommending up to 800 micrograms a day of selenium as a way to kill things like thyroid cancer, amongst other things. Selenium is found naturally in things like oysters. Most people aren't going to have oysters regularly. But it is found in Brazil nuts. So Brazil nuts are a really great source of selenium, zinc, and other minerals. But if someone wanted to have a therapeutic dose to elevate glutathione, maybe we're talking around 50 micrograms a day. It's not a lot. And of course, in conjunction with our.
Well, now that it is starting to turn into a nutcase of sound, we'll come off of there. And I'm actually, if you'll notice, I have a second chair. Right now, Jesus is in that chair until my wife gets here. So then I have another chair for Jesus in the other part of the room. They always say if there's an empty chair in the room, then Jesus is going to show up. So if you ain't got one in the room, go grab one real quick. Just kidding. All right. I thought I'd play that little video here for a few minutes there before we got started there. Always like something to watch with David. I did an interview, though, with Jolene, and if you guys get a chance to look at that, she's going into a lot of scientific research that they're doing on tubular sclerosis, which the results in studying tubular sclerosis is with the hopes of being able to understand people that suffer MS or multiple sclerosis. And so I wanted to really pick her brain in an interview to her because she's talked so much about different patches and how that they can, that she believes they'll actually help. So if you want to take that video and use that to your advantage to share it with people that you guys know, definitely do so because it's really an amazing interview that we did there. And the other thing is she actually got distracted during the interview. She told me at the end of the interview, she said somebody came in because she's in a coffee shop and somebody came in and it kind of distracted her for a moment. But she was wanting to talk about a little bit about Mike Adams and the interview that he did. I forget the name of the guy, but I know that Jolene would remember. And uh, she wanted to go more into that because this guy was on Mike Adams' show talking about photobiomodulation using light therapy, in fact, I actually have one of those lights there and how therapeutic they are. But in that interview that Jolene and I did together, she goes into the depth of the science behind David's technology and how greater it works than any of these other possibilities. So, anyway, I'm going to turn it over to my wife for a little bit here. Elke, glad to see you made it in. I see Dr. Ron is jumping in here with us too, Karen and Nan and her boyfriend Mike there. She lets him hang out with her occasionally. And it must be warming up. The snow's not as deep because now Mike is only in a sweat jacket. We got Sister Denise as well. And good night, Ron. You've got more degrees plastered on the screen. Before long, you're going to need a bigger box. So,
Can't hear you.
Maybe I need to delete them.
All right.
oh, goodness.
I don't know. He said I will be talking, and I have no idea what to talk other than
Wow.
how you been doing. And if you have any questions about X39, X49, one of the friends told me today, after 1 year of using, she didn't know X49 is a stem cell patch too. So it is. There is two, right? Two. The X39
I am
and
glad
X.
you're here to say that because I said that one night we were doing a broadcast on here, and I said, I just like had your brain in my mind, and I said, well, X49 is a stem cell patch. And I said, stopped and I said, well, I don't really know if it is, but my wife says it is, so I guess it is.
No, it is. Yes, those are, it just said X49 is more for cardio and vascular and bones, particularly bones.
What
So
about brains?
brains, that's carnosine. Carnosine is for the brain, and so is X39. Of course, glutathione, we started with glutathione, this broadcast that David was talking about it. And he talked about supplement NAC, N-acetylcysteine, which is amino acid, which is a precursor to the glutathione. So when you wear a glutathione patch and you really want to boost it, take NAC in a supplement form. It's very good for you anyway. It's excellent for lungs and enormous amounts of issues. Like let's say that you're coughing and have lung problems. NAC is a very good supplement. Am I correct, Dr. Ron? Please. NAC and
Yeah.
cysteine. Yeah, right? That's it. And of course, it's very good because it causes your body to produce a glutathione. But as people age, it's harder and harder. Like this is a major issue for diabetics, for example. They in their bodies is found practically no glutathione at all. And we know that this is a master antioxidant. It's very good for the liver. Anyway, Am I preaching to you,
I just
Doctor? I have no
texted
idea.
Ron. You see him looking around. I sent him a text. I said, I'm watching you.
Yeah.
He's trying to find his phone and he just
So
read.
anyway, I came in today to answer any questions that I could answer, but after all, we have Ron Gunter here tonight and he can answer any question.
Don't you love it when we do that
How
to
are
you,
you,
Ron?
Denise? Still on a patch? Still patching away? Are your gums good?
I
Who-
went to the dentist last Tuesday,
Mhm.
and she's after the hygienist was finished, she came in to examine me, and she's like, "There's nothing for me to do."
That is just,
Amen.
that is
And she
amazing.
said, "I can't believe that tooth is still in your mouth." And I told her, phototherapy X39.
She doesn't believe it. They don't want to believe. Why? Why is it that allopathic doctors don't look into? I mean, I understand there are quackeries out there. I understand I went through some myself, but I will tell you there is very legitimate. Um, you should combine naturopathic, allopathic, and allopathic to a certain point. You know what I mean? I mean, if anything, they're very good at getting diagnosis. So get diagnosis and then see what can you do to get off drugs. See what can you do naturally to help yourself. But you have to, I mean, they have a very good knowledge of anatomy, physiology, and they have a lot of tools to diagnose. But once you diagnose, like let's say you're diagnosed diabetic, do everything you can to take care of yourself naturally. Don't stay on these drugs because they will kill you. You know what I mean? I mean, yes, you can manage disease, but how about reversing it, right? Yes, so that's when Dr. Ran comes in.
He's actually got to run. So,
You have to run, okay? That's okay.
well, maybe he'll answer. He's not learned how to unmute himself.
What is it now?
Um, Tonight is Sunday. Just talking, just trying to be funny. Anyway,
Oh, gosh.
all right. So, any questions? Hi, Kim. Kim is here.
She's just now getting in.
My friend.
Give her a second.
Okay.
There's Janice. All right. I got Kim.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Kim.
Good
Guys,
morale. And we
both
have Kim
Kims
and
are
both
in.
Kims are here.
Check it out.
Hello. Nice. Nice to
I
see.
have a question.
Wow, look at you, all of you.
Go ahead. Go ahead with the question.
Well, it's not a question, it's a testimony. I don't know if you guys, I think I've mentioned a couple times the growth on my dog's eye. And it took 7 months, but it just fell off last week.
Amen.
Wow. That's
That
awesome.
is amazing. Dr. Tesla will be happy to hear that testimony himself.
Yes, we need to text him.
I will definitely let him know.
Yes.
So, did you ever have it diagnosed what the growth was? Now you're on
Oops,
mute, but I do
unmute.
read lips as long as you make big motions with them.
Sorry. The vet said he'd take it off for $200, but it would grow right back. And so I put a patch on the dog every other day. And so $50 a month, I can keep it off the dog and he can have other health benefits. So, but the fact that it took 7 months, just proves that the patch is not a microwave patch.
Amen.
So,
Was that X39 you had your doggy on?
yes. Yep. And I just taped it on his collar with Scotch tape. So, and then I would put a new patch on every other day on top of the old patch so that it would push closer to his skin as the little tower of patches was being created. So,
Yeah.
Now, did you happen to use the leftover patch? Because Mike is going to really be curious about that. No? Okay.
no, I used one every other day.
Can't give this poor boy leftovers no more. He's got to be better than Janice's dog.
If you want me to jump in there, I guess I can. I mean, sometimes I'm putting when she forgot to put stuff on and she goes a day without it, I've been putting on a good patch. And we're ahead on some patches, but I'm hesitant to speak in a way of a testimony. Nancy hasn't had any great breakthroughs yet on her macular degeneration, and she has to go till, I guess, April to be on 39 for a year. Then she goes to middle of June to be on 49 with 39. Then when we get to August, that'll make a year having carnosine with 39 and 49. I'm trying to keep her enthused about not giving up.
Mhm.
And then also February, the first week of February, we added Eon.
Okay.
And I hesitate to speak for myself prematurely because of your censorship of your program, words we're not allowed to say. I don't know if we're allowed to say the word heal or these
Oh,
patches are curative or anything like
but
that.
that's more company. The biggest one that we have for YouTube is if we talk about that dreaded thing that happened a couple of years ago, that everybody got that dreaded
4
little
years
thing
ago.
in their body.
4 years.
Okay, well, I hesitate to speak too soon, but I used to have a broken nose for 41 years, but I've been on a CPAP machine for 23. And when it came to uh, December and I needed to order my CPAP supplies, my CPAP supplies were denied from the medical company saying I needed to have a new prescription or something, a doctor's order. So when I went to see my doctor in January, that's my new doctor. All my other doctors have retired. We're thinking about trying to find a joint doctor, naturopathic, because Nancy's doctors and dentists and everybody's retired. We're outliving them all or something. But my doctor said that he couldn't renew my CPAP stuff. And I said, why not? You know, I've been on this thing 23 years. My machine's probably set at the pressure I need. I sleep with it. You know, I mean, you don't have any cure for sleep apnea. And he said, well, you can't renew them unless you have a new sleep study because you haven't had a sleep study in over 10 years. And that's Medicare's rules now. You got to have that sleep study if it's been over 10 years. And I said, I don't need one. And then he said you can do a sleep study at home. But I said, well, I'll think about it. But I said, I've been wrestling with the idea with whether this CPAP machine is a little bit of a crutch because sometimes if I'm sleeping up like I'm on a slant or even a lazy boy or on one side or the other, if I don't have sore muscles, uh, I breathe okay and I sleep okay. But now, see, I use those leftover patches, and sometimes now that the snow's gone, and I've caught up on raking some leaves I didn't get done. And if I go out to rake leaves and have 6 leftover patches on me, and also put on a new 39, but uh, actually, I think today or when I finished raking leaves, I had 3 Eon on, used Eons.
Yeah.
I put him on bound by the ankle, on the hand, or low back, or something, you know. So, you know, my muscles aren't so sore. But the interesting thing is, I think the difference adding the first week of February Eon, and I'm using her leftover patches, but once in a while I'm putting on a good one. I've been sleeping pretty good. If you say that even X39 helps you sleep better,
Mhm.
whether I'm sleeping up on a slant or on one side or the other, uh, I've gone 6 weeks without the CPAP machine. I'm saying, well, if you know, I can't get them renewed, you know, and maybe I don't need it.
Right.
I'm sleeping good. And I used to have a blocked nasal passage, and I'd have to hold my breath when the dentist would say hold, you know, and I'd have to hold my breath till she said swish, then I'd gasp for air. But after I had my nose uh, set, it was a septotonsillectomy uvuloplasty where they cauterized my tonsils and they cut out my uvula, and I still needed the CPAP machine, but
Now you do
uh,
it.
a CPAP machine teaches you to breathe through your nose. And I used to breathe through my mouth a lot, but I've been sleeping without the CPAP machine and breathing good through my nose. And without that CPAP machine now in the colder weather, I'm not freezing my nose, sucking in cold air. I'm not getting cold sores or having sore nose from the pressure. And so I don't know if I want to say Eon heals sleep apnea or not, but I've been doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you said that your wife, it's the macular degeneration,
Yeah.
and
And then
she's
the
not making
cataracts.
progress, not making progress.
What,
No,
what
I
he,
can't tell.
You can't tell. When are you
Sometimes
going to the doctor?
no, well, no, not for that.
Okay.
She
I
has
mean, I did once, but I figured I was not going to get a better answer. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
she
Well,
said sometimes she sees like if you have a piece of paper and you put pinholes in it, she sees like sometimes she's like seeing light through there.
oh,
right, it's not just solid
Mhm.
blackout.
But the eye doctor had told her she was legally blind.
yeah. Yeah. Wow.
what is there another patch
Well,
besides X39 or
no, I mean, I say X39 carnosine for eyes, and listen, you guys, it's like I
well,
have to like
carnosine? That was the
X39 is master patch. That one I would never go without an Eon. Those are that's like every day. Um, if you
Where,
have eye
where's the
problems,
best,
yeah,
where's the best place to put the 39 for the macular degeneration?
you doesn't matter where you put 39, but on the neck.
On the neck?
Yes,
Below the
on a
belly.
like on a C7 right there, X39. And you can change it, keep changing it. It works systemically. You can put it on the belly button, the
I'm
next day. So
tempted to
that way
put it on,
huh?
I'm tempted to put it on my cheek next to my eye.
Yeah, we all think that way, that's how it works. That's not really how it works, but
I
it
figured.
has a systemic effect. But Ian is amazing for inflammation, and inflammation is basically that's what the disease is. It's inflammation in the body.
Inflammation.
Yes, then so Ian is excellent for inflammation, and I just had I had to travel to Tallahassee a lot lately, and oh, that's what are you doing, Steve?
no, it's okay. Keep right on talking. I'm just gonna pull a video up
Okay,
for
and you
them
know
to
how
look at.
in these cheap hotels they have this air conditioning that blow and they make noise and they're so nasty. And so I was in a hotel, and the next day I felt my sore throat, like it didn't feel good really in my throat, and I was very afraid I'll get sick. So I had Eon with me, and I didn't use glutathione, I didn't have it, but I put 3 Eons on my neck, 3 Eons, and by the next morning I was completely well. Like it.
3 eons in my neck. I'm doing it tonight.
That's what I did because I was so afraid I'll be sick because it was feeling like, wow, I'm getting really sick. And it was from this air conditioning, in a hotel. So I put 3 Eons on my neck,
Not glutathione.
not
Eon.
glutathione. I didn't have glutathiones. And I knew that Eon is anti-inflammation. And so that's what I did. And I woke up and the pain was nowhere, like totally nowhere.
Okay.
It
Now
was gone.
she did
So
put an X39 below the navel and the X49 at the base of the
and
neck.
you can keep changing it.
Yeah.
Which
I
is-
posted a video that I did the interview with Jolene. Remember, she is a neurobiologist, and I just did an interview with her. She goes into why it is called a systemic patch. That's one of the things that she discusses in there is why biologically does that small of a patch work? And she literally talks about when you even place it, she says cells that are not even right near there, she said they're picking up
Wow.
the reflection of that light. But she does explain it more biologically how and why it affects the entire body.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be worth just listening to. In the beginning, it's a little bit really deep what she's talking about because she's talking about the research that she's currently doing.
Wow.
But about 10 minutes or so after that, she goes into a lot of the really important things about we discussed 3 patches. Eon was one of them. as well as Alavita, because she mentioned something about Alavita that I've never heard of
What
before.
did she say?
She said Alavita actually helps reduce inflammation in the body as well, not just Eon.
Yeah.
And she explains why. There is a,
I know
she said
that
it's raising a
Alavita,
certain peptide in the
telomere.
body. Which one is it?
No, it actually is very good for lengthening of telomeres, which
Yeah.
is prolonging lifespan.
Right. And she talks
So-
about that as well.
Yeah.
But she said because this one thing that it elevates in the body, she said it literally reduces inflammation. And she goes into the Eon a lot, why Eon actually works.
No, wow. I need to listen. I
so-
still didn't have time. I had to travel a lot. But now that we have Kim here, she had overdose on salt. So let's talk about that a little bit. Because we said that while we are on patches,
She
we have to,
overdosed on salt?
well, yeah, you know that good salt, salt that with 84 minerals, and we have to be always hydrated properly with a lot of with electrolytes.
I know what happens when
right?
you overdose on salt.
Hold on. So we were mentioning here, especially like last year, we were talking about how to put a little pinch of salt and create our own electrolyte drink.
Yeah.
Well, she's been doing it twice a day, and it was too much because she started swelling in legs. Now that should not happen. That should not happen when you have healthy kidneys with that salt. But obviously, her body was too high in sodium, I think. So did it work out? Like I told you to stop for a few days. Did it
Yeah, I was drinking an herbal tea. I was doing green tea, dandelion root, and parsley. That's all that's
Yes.
the ones that I had here.
Mhm.
And that really helped. The next day, the
Yeah.
swelling in my legs went down. I was on my feet all day,
Oh,
putting up a
that's
garden
cool.
fence.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that also, but the whole back where, remember I was telling you, I said, maybe I wasn't putting it together with my kidneys, because it was hurting in around in there.
Mhm.
But the next day I woke up, it wasn't hurting like that in there.
So
So,
yeah,
yeah, I've been
parsley is
doing,
amazing. So you can make yourself a food. It's a
Yeah.
Mediterranean food. I don't know. It's like you just chop up a whole bunch of parsley with little tomatoes and bulgur wheat, and then you make that with lemon, and you just kind of eat that kind of parsley salad, basically. It usually goes with hummus. That's what they do in Palestine. So that's an amazing salad to kind of get the extra water out of your body.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yes.
I know when I was telling you, like when I first started X39, I couldn't sleep for 3 days, which I was already for a couple years drinking half my body weight in water and doing the pinch of Redmond salt. It's called Soleil water,
Yeah.
right? So I was already doing that. So on the Saturday meeting, they says, well, add extra, another dose in the pinch of salt. But I didn't ask him for how long. I think that was the key because I must have done it too long, because I use
Well-
Redmond salt in everything I cook with. So
Okay, yeah. So if you start using Redmond salt in cooking, then you're getting those minerals. You're getting
Yeah.
electrolytes the whole day. So if you keep drinking that on top of it, so it might happen, that, and then of course your kidneys, when you are standing and you are older, sometimes valves in your veins, they everything ages, but for valves, X49 is amazing because it actually renews the cardiovascular system and especially vascular system. So X49 is good. And keep in
trampoline.
mind that photobiomodulation that we have in patch is the best we can get right now. But I want even better. I want him to come up with a patch that will grow your teeth.
He
Yeah.
has one. He just dead gummit.
I mean, I'm not
Listen,
stopping at X39.
I
We
have
have to
a
keep
feeling-
progressing. We have to keep progressing. And
What
so
was the
the
name of the
things-
patch that he did away with?
there was one. What was it for? It was like for anxiety and nervousness. What was that?
it was for bipolar and chronic pain.
And do you think that they had to get rid of it because it worked so well that all these FDA companies got on him, or why did they stop? I never got answer for that.
Yeah.
because
Well,
I
people
don't
he
care
used
if I
to
was-
love
found
it.
out or not.
He was wearing what he talks about in one video, a patch that he wore, and he grew back a tooth that he didn't even have.
I'm missing teeth here. I need to
He's
regrow
holding
my
out.
tooth.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
I wear the X39, X49 during the day, and then at night I do the Eon.
Yes. Okay. Okay. You can make Eon your night patch. That's very good. I do recommend, however, that X39 and Eon are put together because they strengthen each other. They make each other stronger.
Hmm.
So, yes. So sometimes remember that happened to you, Kim, too.
Yeah,
You overpatch yourself.
overpatched myself. I went and I had the
Yeah, you're very
X49,
sensitive.
X39, and the energy patch, and oh boy,
I know. I
I
mean,
was going to pass out. I'm telling you.
yes. So it was way too many energies coming. So no, too many frequencies. So you have to kind of find out what you can handle, what your body feels good with, and then keep that. But I would not be, if you can afford it, I would not be without X39 and Eon.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be forever until they come up with something even better. Why? Because it's not that you cannot get sick. We all can get sick because we have toxins in the environment, toxins in food, toxins in air, everywhere, water, everything that but your recovery is better and faster. And I'm at this point, I'm really afraid if I stopped patches, would I go, after a few weeks or months, would I go backwards into what I used to be? Because I actually had fibromyalgia. I diagnosed myself.
Yeah.
I had pain in my whole body and my bones, and I felt like I'm 80 years old, like barely can move. And then, of course, PTSD and everything. So I have to say, although I have good days and bad days, what I call bad days now, they're not as bad as they used to be before patch. So I can actually handle everything a lot better. So I would not, yeah.
That night that I called, text you about, the water on my
Yeah.
legs. Okay, that's the day I was on my legs all day. Help Norm put the fence in. Girl, I was so sore. He had to help me get out of the chair. But the next day, it was like it didn't even bother me. And
That's
then
because
I
you
was
have
watching the X49 video with David. He says the recovery time is better. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's it. I never put the X49, for the recovery time after all
yes.
the strenuous work, like, like people in athletics.
Exactly. Yeah, X49 is for bones, muscles, and cardiovascular. Excellent for that. And it will work so well for you in recovery if you are training with weights and athletes. They should be on X49 for sure. I mean, everybody should be. But any other questions? Anybody? Or what can I help you with? I'm here today, so I am in private life. I'm like I feel like I am full-time law firm. No, literally because I'm into medicine and I had to stop this, like do extensions because I'm dealing with the case of my father and I don't know how law works, so I'm learning how things work and I'm horrified. You know what I mean? So it's been very overwhelming. That's why you don't see me, but I'm here today. So whatever I can help, I wish Ron was here so he can help, but he left. So if you have any questions, I'm here for you. If I can answer, I will.
I have some good news.
Yes.
I have been working around a lot of people who had the C, you know what,
Oh,
and
yes.
yeah, and colds and flus.
Mhm.
But I have not, by God's grace and the patches, my immune system must really be up because normally I'll get sick like in September with the back to school germs. I didn't get that. And I was around all these people coughing and sneezing, and they had the you know what, the see you know what. And
Yes.
I didn't get sick. I have not
Same
sick.
here. Same here.
He
I've
was
not
sick
had it
every
all.
year twice before patches all the time.
Nothing.
He didn't have a sickness.
Yeah, I haven't been. and I'm thankful.
I did once, but you know what? I am stressed out to the fullest. So
Mm.
that will play a role too. But my recovery was a lot better than any other time before.
We didn't
So
get sick either.
you didn't get sick either? Well, that's
No, and we
amazing.
didn't have
Just
any
you
of
don't
those
We didn't
things that,
either. We didn't either. I'm grateful.
we didn't have any of those things that put anything in you.
yes.
Those pokey
Keep
things.
on, don't stop patches. Encourage everyone to be on them until David Schmidt or somebody else comes up with even better patches so they can regrow our teeth. And and whatever, we can start looking 20 years younger, not 5 years younger.
Amen.
So any questions? Anybody?
Are you directors now, Steve and Yana?
We
Or
are
associate
always the
directors?
same. We
We've
stay the
not changed
same.
since we started nearly.
That's because this job would be keep calling our people, keep calling our customers, keep calling and keep encouraging, keep telling them, come here, look how many, right? And in my private life, I have a situation that's very, very difficult for me. And I just don't have time right now calling on people. And checking on them. So if you have customers, just keep checking in with them.
Yeah.
And how are you doing, Denise, with this?
Starting to pick up some momentum now.
Good.
I had my patch seminar last Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Turned out very well.
Good.
I joined the School for Success again with Mandy and Andy Hosier. And so I'm following the protocols there. And
it works? That's good. That's good.
April 11th will be my last day as a W-2 employee.
Wow.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
For real?
Yes. So I'm on Social Security and Medicare, okay? And I'm going to be pushing my business 100%.
Okay.
Because
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
thank you.
to this.
I said I'm a senior citizen for real. Everybody tells me I look so young,
Oh, that's awesome.
There you
I said
go.
it's the patches.
Yes.
In number only. In number only.
You're right.
We see John just jumped in there. Nancy has a message for John. She misses Marie Lassiter.
Well, I got an update on that. I talked to Marie a few days ago. She's still in what might be called detox or post-traumatic stress from all the murders and homicides and so forth.
Bless her heart.
She may be back. I can't say that she was going to take another job as a nurse, but she hasn't even done that. So she's taking sabbatical from all these things, and hopefully she'll be back soon, but I can't promise anything.
Tell her I really miss her. And I do the Marie Lassiter flush every morning when I brush my teeth.
Okay, I'll let her know. All right.
Excellent. What do you do? What do you do?
You put after you brush, you put a little water and in a jar or something, and put 5 or 6 or 7 squirts of hydrogen peroxide, food grade hydrogen peroxide, and gargle with that. To swish it around your mouth and spit it all out, and it's supposed to really make a difference on your with your teeth every day.
Right. And did you ever hear of oil pulling?
I did. I somehow that was too complicated. I couldn't keep it going.
Okay. Yeah. It only takes swishing for 20 minutes, oil in your mouth until it's foam.
I can do this in about 3 minutes.
The oil pulling is very good because, and that's true. I mean, peroxide for mouth hygiene.
My father-in-law
is really
did
good
that.
for
Did
mouth
the
hygiene.
peroxide. Yes.
During those times, during those couple years of whatever was happening, people didn't want to get out and do nothing. We were spraying food grade hydrogen peroxide on our finger and sniffing it in our nose, and then we were spraying it in our mouth and then spitting it out. But I mean, we had a friend who is in the medical community told us that all viruses and bacteria die on contact with hydrogen peroxide.
Yes, it's
I
there
don't
are
know if I'm allowed to say that.
There are protocols of peroxide that are safe to use. I do not recommend drinking it though,
No,
because
No,
right,
no,
don't
no, we
swallow.
won't
I do
swallow.
not, and I do not recommend to use it internally, like in an IV or
Right,
anything like
right,
that.
I would never do that.
Right, right.
But we
So,
have not had a headache in years.
Except for me, I'm her headache.
yes, well.
Okay.
Well, I was
They're all
wondering
married.
about your nose, but I know y'all ain't been together long enough for her to do the break the nose or nothing, so.
Well, I had that broken nose for 41 years. And then I had
Yeah.
that.
So that was, I knew that was before Nan, so yeah,
Mm.
we were safe on that one.
It wasn't enough to keep
That's
me off.
right.
It wasn't enough to keep me off a CPAP machine. But anyway, it was an attempt. Get rid of the tonsils, get rid of the uvula, and repair the broken nose.
That's something John may not know because I don't think John was in when you mentioned that earlier. But John, Mike does not have to use a CPAP machine anymore. He's not been using it now for a while.
So, a
Good.
question.
That's the relief.
Ever since we added Eon, I'm breathing without that CPAP machine.
Yes,
All through
Outstanding.
my nose.
yes. Okay, so anybody uses the powders from the company for, he formulated them for those micronutrients and some amino acids that would help. I think that when I looked at ingredients on them, it's good for people who have really bad diets and they need to supplement. But if you're really watching your diet, you should be all right. However, there are some supplements that I still would recommend, and especially like NAC. When you're using patches, NAC is really, really helpful. So that way your body can start creating its own glutathione easily.
That's great.
Glutathione, I cannot tell you how important glutathione is after you 30 and 40, and then when you're 50 and on. I mean, that's when your body just don't make it. It's just, and it's the most important antioxidant for your liver to detoxify all the toxins and for inflammation as well. So that's
How often do you take it and what quantities?
only 3 times a week, and it raises your glutathione levels by 300%. And you can use it as a night patch, like you don't patch yourself with a bunch of patches during the day because you can overdo it. So they say maximum 4 patches on you, but I have usually 2 or 3 max. But then I have my night patches, and glutathione could be one of your night patches.
Before you go to Karen
Yes,
and
we have
Dwayne,
Karen,
let
yeah.
me just say this so real quick too. If you're 70 and above, your glutathione is petrified in your body.
What?
This is why you need to take NAC so you can get some new ones going.
Okay, whatever.
I didn't say no names. I just was
Oh
trying to.
my goodness. He just has to do that.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
Karen.
Turning our audio off.
Dwayne.
I was just wondering what patch did you hear me?
You're not, if you speak slowly, it works, but
Hi,
it was breaking
I
up.
was just
one.
asking what patch would be
Dwayne, can you write it in the
Oh, so-
comments? Because you're breaking up every other
in chat.
Yeah, I think our internet, I've already had to log out. I mean, it logged me out automatically.
I heard
So
Karen
that's-
okay though. Go ahead. Karen, can you ask it?
Yeah. Aaron, can you speak? Ask.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
No,
we
yeah.
could hear you okay.
For some
Dwayne was
reason.
breaking.
Oh,
up,
okay.
though.
Oh, what patch would be good for heart issues? Dwayne was wanting to know.
X49.
Yeah, X49. X39 and X49, they both
Really, yeah, better to have both of them
go
on.
together. That's they have that duo that they sell, and you will get discount on it rather than buying them separately.
Yeah, I pay 180 for the dual pack.
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
that's the cardiovascular system repair.
And it would be
Okay.
good
Okay,
if
that
you,
helps.
if you don't have to do it permanently, but it would be good to do it for, I would say at least 6 months straight, but if nothing else, at least 3 months.
I would
Because
just
6 months, I think, is what the research showed, that in 6 months, it would restore your heart back what is it, 8 years?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Like the whole cardiovascular system gets
Yeah.
renewed. Yeah.
Great.
Okay,
Is
great.
the
Thanks.
and pardon me,
Go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead,
is the
Kim.
carnosine also heart related? Isn't it?
Yeah,
Carnosine
carnosine
or
is
no?
good for heart too, but it's for eye and brain. Actually, carnosine is mainly known to be a brain patch. You have to add carnosine for Alzheimer's, dementia, PTSD. Carnosine is an excellent night patch, and some of you will notice if you do wear it at night that you will start having more lucid dreaming. So
I'm
it
gonna
kind
try it
of,
tonight.
yeah, it kind of does balance his brain. Of course, X39 is a must. You can wear it either during the day or night. I would wear it if you wear it first time, I would go 2 weeks straight every day. And then I will just use it 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, because once your body replenishes carnosine, it'll keep it in your body. You know, it's not like you have to have it every day. So it's a brain patch and eye patch. It's very good for eyes and brain. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Answer the question, Elke, when is the water machine coming? I just asked Jason Miller that question about a couple of days ago.
How much is it gonna cost?
Still
5,000?
don't know yet the price, but he did say that they're expecting it here coming up in this next quarter. So they're hoping sometime before the end of June that it's going to be available. So we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, we're
Who
gonna.
is gonna get it? You guys getting it?
So I'd like
We're
to
gonna
get it.
try. We would like to.
Well, it just depends on the cost of the thing to
Yes.
start with, but
Let's see what it will be.
anyway, we'll take any last questions here. I've got an interview with
Deborah
Deborah
Tavares.
Tavares here in just a little bit.
It will be
So,
all depressing.
yep.
Just kidding.
Come,
It's gonna, everything
don't
is
be
wrong in this
scared.
world.
All you gotta do is come listen to me and Deborah, and
After that, please put on some Eon carnosine for the brain and like better dreams.
you need a detox.
And I'm not making fun of it. Our world is in deep trouble, but you know what I mean. She just has this extra knowledge.
Something new's going on, is what Deborah's
Yes.
told me. So
We've been putting the carnosine right on the sternum. Is that the best place for carnosine?
Well, that's one, but right, how do you tell them the lowest point of your spine?
Lowest point of the spine.
Yes.
Either one of those two?
Yeah.
right
But
down to the
lowest
last
point.
vertebrae.
Yes, the lowest point of your spine right there. That's a very good place, and it's good for brain. I mean, I
You know, all right, now listen, Mike, now you know why they say that our head is.
now, by the way, you see the patch, carnosine patch is very unique supplement because, and I wouldn't say supplement because it actually it encourages your body to make your own carnosine. But if you take carnosine as a supplement, it doesn't work because it gets lost in digestion and it causes digestive issues. For people who take a carnosine supplement, it's very bad for your stomach. That it can cause a lot of pain and problems. So nobody really takes carnosine orally. So for him to come up with carnosine patch, that's an amazing patch for the brain and for eye health and brain health. So just keep that in mind. You cannot put it, you can't take it like NAC. You can take NAC, you can take a lot of other supplements, but not the carnosine. And maybe now they're doing some sort of lipospheric, liposomal form. I don't know. I have to look into it. But I like the patch idea of carnosine. Okay, so any other questions? If not, we're gonna pretty much wrap it up. So Deborah Tavares can tell us what's new in the
Yes.
world.
And then on Tuesday morning, you can come over with me and John and we'll tell you what's new.
Yes, and
That's
John will
right.
depress you even more. No, I'm just kidding.
John's
you was
on a roll
talking-
for good news right
We need
now.
to stay informed. Stay informed.
Yes.
When
John,
you guys were
I have a
talking about
question.
carnosine, I
Yeah.
got to tell you something. Stephen
Okay,
will
go
like
ahead,
this.
go ahead.
We had got a bunch of patches there for a while, so we got carnosine because my husband has some memory problems. He goes, where did I put? I said, the closest to the brain as possible.
Okay. Yes. Well, it is a
But you know
systemic
what's
patch,
weird?
but
But she says put it on the tailbone, and that's why I said we know why they put it on the tailbone because they always say our head is up our.
Yeah.
but anyway, I believe that it does work on anywhere on the body because it is, frequency. So if he wants to put it here, he can try that way.
Yeah, he just did it for 1 month because it was we had bought it in a package, just to try out. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, but if I get some more, that'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
Try it.
Yes. For memory, believe it or not, high doses of B complex. I know that there is a lot of other things. Go to cola, for example, herbs.
Coca-Cola.
No, it's called go to cola. And we have all that, but high doses of B complex. Sometimes when people don't have B vitamins, the memory suffers. So when you start seeing that your memory is going somehow, try first B complex and kind of overdose on it a little bit until your pee is yellow. Okay, like so your body's getting rid of it. It absorbs what it can and it gets rid of the rest. So it's a very safe vitamin, and try that, and you might find out that your energy comes back and then your memory works a lot better. And I will tell you, second trick for the memory, sometimes if you are not allergic, you have to know that. So I'm just telling you, if you are allergic for any seafood or anything, but iodine drops, just 2-3 drops of glucose iodine 3 times a week in a little bit of water, that also can perk up your energy and your memory. Sometimes people don't have.
David Schmidt was talking about that in the video.
They might be. Oh, really? Okay. So some people, when it's not like dementia, but when you see that you stop remembering or you're foggy.
Part-timers.
Yeah, or you have foggy thinking and you can't think of words. Sometimes it's as simple as B vitamins and iodine missing in the body.
So he takes Align. It's B vitamin complex from Dr. Caroline Dean.
Okay.
And but he had told me one time, he says, I got to be careful with my vitamin D because one of the B vitamins
B6
gives him headaches.
Ah, okay. Yes.
I don't know which one it is.
Might be B6 if it's too much, but also if it's too little, it can cause like migraines. Deficiency can cause migraines. So it's, you see, I'm not saying that you have to overdose on B complex every single day, 365 a day of your life.
Yeah.
But you are most likely deficient in a lot of B vitamins. Yeah, unless you are eating grains
All right,
and stuff
Kim's
like that.
hiding the screen. I'm
Yes.
curious now what she's about to shop for.
Okay, and iodine, just keep in mind, just to let you know, okay, make sure you're not allergic. So that's when you can take 2-3 drops of glucose iodine in the water.
No, it's too late.
Iodine deficiency is very real in United States. Very real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Very real. And one of the things about iodine is that once you are replenishing it, you start feeling better in your hormones, overall hormone balance, and then you will start feeling better with your brain. You will suddenly start remembering things better. And it was just
at Walmart. She just doesn't want to tell.
Oh, you're in Walmart?
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Fred Meyer,
You-
after work picking up some lemons and
Oh, okay.
Yes, you go right ahead.
I have we have a lemon a day every
Oh, okay.
morning with a little fresh honey,
Nice.
local honey.
Very
And I'll tell
alcoholic.
you,
Mhm.
it's good, and it's I think it, well, in addition, of course, the patches, I'm with you all on the recovery, quick recovery, and feeling better, not getting hit so much with my immunity.
Yeah.
So, but
Excellent.
adding that lemon juice in the morning
Mhm.
with some honey.
But
So yeah,
David also is a big promoter of vitamins, exercise, and he's always talking about what to add, what will benefit you with your patches and stuff. So we 100% support all that as well. So anyway, I'm gonna have to jump off here, so I'm gonna let you guys go. John, you get to go to bed. I don't, but I will go to bed
Okay.
at 9 o'clock.
Hey, Steve,
Yes.
are you doing live with Deborah?
I can't really, well, I guess
No,
I could go live, but it's better for me to record it. Because, for some reason, when you go live, you never get the number of people able to watch it. I think it's the way it shows up in your feed, is what, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on that, but
I
it
think
seems to
it's
be better
best to
when you
record
pre-record.
it, pre-recorded, and then he will post it tonight.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I gotta
and
go
this
do the interview
recording,
too.
with
Do
this
what?
recording, will we be able to listen to it again
Yeah, I'm gonna take and
tonight?
post it. I always end up forgetting to post one somewhere along the way, but I'll definitely get this one posted as soon as we hang up. It should process pretty quick. And I'm gonna put it up on Banoon X39 YouTube channel.
Oh, wonderful.
Did you guys
Thank
figure
you.
out we are not really good salespeople?
We're terrible.
You know what? That's why you need to believe in a patch, because if we keep talking about it, that means it really is good. Because we are just not salespeople.
Watch that video
Yeah.
Jolene did with me, that interview.
Yes.
That's really, really, that's the reason I wanted her to do it was because she's so brilliant. And she'll call me up and she'll say, I'll say, where are you at? She says, I'm at the lab. And it's like 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like, what are you at the lab for? She says, I've been thinking of, she says, I've been doing research on this patch, on such and such a patch. And she'll be saying, do you realize what this thing can? She said, people have no clue what they have. She said, I'm being honest with you, Steve, they don't have any clue. She said, I try to talk to doctors normally, people that I know. She says, because they can better understand what I'm talking about. And then she goes into it. And it's so deep. I mean, like, for me, it's like, meow. Yana would get it, but for me, it's over my head. But I'm so impressed with what she says. And I'm like, if people only heard what she says to me, it would better help you
The
guys to
video
share
is
with
on
others.
Israeli News Live. He
Yeah.
just did recently, so I'm gonna go and actually listen to it tonight.
So-
But anyway,
Yeah,
I
so
hope you all have
definitely.
a good night, and we will see you next week. And
So
bye,
anyway,
and text me
by the way,
when
this
you
is
have
sign language
questions.
for goodbye. I'm just kidding.
Thank you, Yana. Very nice to see you, Yana.
Thank you.
Thanks,
And of
everyone.
course, Steve.
You too.
Steve, I'll see you Tuesday.
Okay,
Yes.
John,
Nice,
take
nice to
care.
see you, all of you.
Keeping you in prayer too, okay?
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you so much. Thank you.
God bless, guys. Y'all have a great night.
Uh-huh.